Welcome to Learning Keda. In the previous series, we have talked about various schools of psychology. Today, we'll be talking about the one school of psychology that is known as the psychoanalysis. So, let us begin. Now, what is psychoanalysis? So, according to American Psychoanalytic Association, that is, in psychology, we follow APA definition. Okay, so it says that psychoanalysis can help people understand by exploring their unconscious part of their mind. That means psychoanalysis, we focus on the unconscious part. Okay, that means this is a part of mind that we are not aware of. So it is defined as a set of psychological theories. So this is basically a psychological theories, and through this we apply some therapeutic methods. Okay, and it was given by Sigmund Freud. So the primary assumption of psychoanalysis is that our unconscious part, it includes our thought process, feelings, desires, memories, any kind of painful memories that we are not aware of. Now, Freud also believed that human behavior is motivated by biological instincts. So here he talked about two types of instinct, that is eros and thanatos. Now, eros is something that is needed for our survival. Okay, that is social cooperation, the way we cooperate with our surrounding. Thanatos is known as the dead instinct, that which includes aggression, which is like self-destructive. Okay, risky behavior, for example, like smoking, alcohol, or any kind of substance abuse, and then relieving trauma. Now, Freud also talked about the three topographical model of mind. The first is the conscious. It includes something that a person is aware at a particular time. Okay. That means if I ask you, let's say, for example, what did you had for lunch today? So it will be very easy for you to remember or recall that particular thing. Next is a preconscious, or which is also known as a subconscious mind. It includes memories that can be easily be brought back to our consciousness. For example, if I ask you, what did you had for lunch yesterday? So it will take some time for you to recall. But if I give you some time to think about it, it will be very easy for you to bring back to that awareness. Then the third is the unconscious part, or that is that the person is not aware at a particular moment. Okay. For example, if I ask you what did you had for lunch last year on this day, it will be very hard for you to remember that part because that is something that you are not aware at a particular moment. Okay. Now, Freud also talked about three parts of personality. He said that our personality is made up of id, ego, and superego. Now, let us try to understand what is all about. So, this is also known as a structure of mind. The id, just remember, id is something which operates on the pleasure principle. Okay, so basically, it tries to seek instant gratification of our biological drives, and they do not fear about anything. The next one is the ego. Now, ego is a rational part which works logically. Okay, so it operates on the reality principle. It seeks to satisfy the demands by thinking in a logical way or in a socially acceptable way. The third is a superego. Now, superego operates on the morality principle. That means they work on how, on one's culture, values, and all. Okay, whether they think it is morally upright or not. However, the superego is perfectionist and can cause people to strive for some unattainable ideals. Now, let me give you an example for each ego and superego. For example, let's say a boy, he is sitting in a park with his mother. Okay, now his id will tell him that suppose he wants to have ice cream, and there are many other people in the park, they are having ice cream. Now his id will tell him that go grab that ice cream. Okay, because it operates on instant gratification. It just want to, you know, uh, pleasure. It works on the pleasure principle. It just want to satisfy. That is why his id will tell him go grab the ice cream. However, when you talk about ego, now his ego will tell him no, that is not morally right. I need to ask my mother if it's all right if I go and grab the ice cream. Okay, talk about Freud's psychosexual stages. So there are various stages given by Freud. The first is the oral stage. It begins from birth to 1 year. Okay? So during the oral stage, the infant's primary source of interaction begins in the mouth, that is sucking or rooting. All this begins, okay, during this stage. So the mouth is very vital for eating, and the infant derives pleasure from those oral stimulation. Okay, because the infant is entirely dependent upon the caretakers or whosoever is responsible for feeding the child. So the child also develops a sense of trust and comfort with their caretakers or with their mother. So the primary conflict at this stage is the weaning process. That means the child must become less dependent upon the caretakers. However, if there is fixation, that means if it doesn't occur, like if it doesn't occur the way it should at this stage, then Freud said that there could be some issues related to smoking or nail biting in their later life. Okay. The second stage is known as the anal stage. So this begins from first to 3 years of age. So Freud said that the primary focus was of controlling the bladder and the bowel movement. That means whether they know how to go pee alone, and so mainly it is the mainly to train the child for the toilet. Okay, the child has to learn to control their body limits. Okay, so, according to Freud, success at this stage is dependent upon the way in which the parents approach the toiletry. Okay. Then the third stage is known as the phallic stage. It begins from 3 to 6 years of age. Now, there are two aspects under this. One is Oedipus complex and Electra complex. Now, what is Oedipus complex? So, Freud believed that boys begin to view their fathers as a rival for mother's affection. So basically, in Oedipus complex, it described that these feelings of wanting to possess the mother and the desire to replace the father. So here, the child also fears that he will be punished by the father for these feelings. Then, Electra complex, it is the opposite of Oedipus complex. Okay, so it has been used to describe a similar set of feelings experienced by young girls. Okay, so that is the difference between Oedipus complex and Electra complex. Then the another stage is known as a latent stage that begins from 6 years to puberty. Now, during this stage, the superego continues to develop. Okay, so the children develop some kind of skills like social skill, values, how they should, um, work with their peers, the relationship with their peers and adults outside of the family. Now, the development of the ego and superego continue to this period. It continues, okay? Um, and the last stage is known as the genital stage that begins from puberty to death. Now, the onset of puberty causes the libido to become once again active. So basically what happens here, uh, in earlier stages, the focus was solely on individual needs, right? However, the goal of this stage is to establish a balance between the various life areas. So that is about Freud's psychosexual stages. And with this, we end with our psychoanalysis part. Thank you.
To change your